And we are hitting the rift once again. We've got Sri Lanka on the blue side, and on the red corner, we've got Pakistan. And honestly, Raz, I think they may just be my favorite team. And you know why? Can you guess?
Is it just because they have weeb names?
You're absolutely goddamn right, Raz. Almost every single one of these players has a weeb name.
Pretty nice. I'll give you that. Makes it easier, just because we literally have a resident weeb.
Fantastic.
Pronunciation's not a problem.
Okay.
You know what's great about pronunciation?
What's that?
I know exactly how to say toxic and ugly. We're good.
So do most solo queue players, Raz. Okay, we've got Pakistan looking for this. Invade plays down a single ward, but okay, they're thinking about it. Jisatsu was actually backing away. Now he goes into the brush, and they fully commit to the play.
Even though Sri Lanka are grouped up, this is a Brahmin double AD carry. So unless Atara can get a fantastic Quadra stun, I don't like the chances. Let's see what we got here.
It's a 4v5 though. Pakistan are not looking for a potential collision right here.
Run!
Now they're spotted, but now they're on the aggressive. I actually really like this play from Pakistan because they go into Sri Lanka and saying, okay, your play, because Sri Lanka are expecting 5. They're not expecting 4.
That's true. That's true. They ended up playing that game of chicken, and it's Sri Lanka that's like, all right, we understand. We're backing up in a way. I will say this. Nightmare could have gotten something out of it, but he's unlucky, and the RNG wasn't on his side. So even though he hit a few autos in a queue, he didn't get a damn thing off of that. I'm sad.
No,
my level 1 plays on Ezreal are always coming out ahead. I throw 1 Q, and I always get a sack of gold.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Did not happen in that one. Deep Vision just taking his blue buff right here. He'll be a little bit behind Ace Lord, in fact. So even though the invade came out from Pakistan, it was actually Ace Lord who was benefiting from this one. You can see aggressing down into the enemy jungle. That ward has just turned out, though. Double pings are coming down on top of Ace Lord. I think that Pakistan know where he is, but they won't know if he's taking a red buff, because the ward has just expired.
So you made a mention of it. The fact that I would say Graves is one of the most well-known picks in towards Trundle. This is 8.10, remember this. So even still, ultimately Graves is known as the best jungler in terms of pacing, skirmishing, all of that good stuff. But Trundle should be fine knowing that he's much faster and clear because of the level 1. So it's pretty great to see from this team.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do right here. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, just getting to that level 2 mark. No punishes coming out right now, though. Deep Vision going for a deep invade. Actually, onto these Raptors right here. We'll take these away and actually leave one. Oh, okay. Spicy.
Excellent. He should just, you know, personally, you got to clear it just because you know you're going to be coming on a repeat entrance. You know the timing of the buff, but ultimately, it's Deep Vision that's like, no, I got this. I'm probably not going to be coming back here for a very long time. Not sure why, but I respect it.
Yeah, I totally understand it. He's going to get all of this Crook camp as well. How's bot lane doing now? We're full health, so probably not looking for the dive. Ace, hang on. Someone didn't clean up after themselves. All right, I'm going to take this one away. Hopefully my Crooks are still there.
This is oh no, Deep Vision, you can't spend this much time on this. You got to skedaddle.
Yes, you can, Raz. You've little faith. Hang on.
Okay.
This guy didn't clean up himself after here either. And he was here just a couple seconds ago.
Uh-oh.
Ace's not having a fun time.
There's a story behind this about some bear finding that everything has been used in his own damn house.
It's like, hang on. What is happening? Someone's marked the territory. Nightmare, he's found Zensan. Zensan, get him. Follows through, gets the stun down, but no follow-up out from Jisatsu. So, nothing going to happen in the end in the bottom lane, but that's heal burnt from the bot lane there from Sri Lanka. Ace Lord coming through into the mid lane. Again, another traditional Trundle. I like it. Going to land that Pillar of Filth and knock towards Ash right here. But that's a lot of damage in return. Toxic and Ugly pops the heal, the flash away. Deep Vision coming through as well. Providing vision for the Graves. But the slowdown from Visions of Empire will slow the Graves and the aggression. So we're good. But lots of summoners burnt in the mid lane.
I will say, though, Toxic and Ugly was doing so well in the lane, but using his summoners at the very end was a bad idea. He could have actually came out of the entire gank at a much higher positive. Sure, you use your summoners anyways, but you wouldn't have lost that much HP and mana. So, the very end, it's okay because Deep Vision doubles down and pushes Ashe out of lane, but he was now at an even position, and this entire wave could have been taken by Ashe.
Yeah, very true. But Deep Vision, good guy, actually stays in the mid lane, helps with the push, then he'll go back to the jungle. He's pretty much out of mana, so would like to go for his recall fairly promptly. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we actually haven't spoken about this one just yet. Yasuga Kazama. I'm going to shorten that one to Kazama. And meanwhile, in the top lane, we've got the Master 46. And he's going to be taking on Kazama up here.
I always like the Cho'Gath into these lanes just because even though it gets pushed in by the constant AoE from Ornn, he's always in a safe position unless he gets taken. It's always the truth here. That being said, Master's not been seeing much pressure coming out of Graves, so he's just farming up, scaling up, and all he needs to worry about is when bottom lane essentially gets dove at some point, the TP flank coming out from Master is going to be super impactful. So we haven't seen much of Cho'Gath in this patch, but it's always nice to see it from good players, good Cho'Gath players.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Cho'Gath is one of those picks where a lot of people who are not in the competitive scene don't think so much about the silence, but it is one of the biggest things about Cho'Gath. And it's very difficult to see its effect in a team fight because it's not impactful in the same way that like a stun is, because you can see someone stunned, but it stops people from doing things and makes them look basically dumb in a team fight, because you've got a Lee Sin who jumps in and you're like, oh, I can't reactivate any of my abilities.
Exactly, and to make a good example in this game is if we ever get into a team fight and Ornn comes on through, he's not going to be able to follow up as long as the Master's on top of him. So that just completely cuts down Kazama's ability to use his E to push forward and actually make the CC worthwhile. So it all depends on the positioning of the Cho'Gath in these fights, but if it's crucial enough, he can really save his team in a lot of these engages.
Yeah, give him the Singe treatment. Throw that Mega Adhesive down, throw down the Silence, it's all the same to Ornn. Deep Vision. Now, is this SOFM? Does SOFM infiltrate the Pakistani team? Is that what I'm seeing right here?
We're about to find out. If he takes another step forward and skirmishes without help of his team, then yes. This is the true test.
He's stepping forward. He's pushing forward.
It's okay. He's at least communicating for his laners to push up, but now Orianna has lost control of where the Swain is.
Choose it! Alright, we're out.
He's not.
Smash
he's
and
not
grab.
SOFM.
I'll see you later.
See, there we go. Deep Vision would have skirmished when Swain was coming there.
That's true. That's true.
So there we had it.
I respect it though. This is the type of jungle play that I'm used to casting. I just want to see him take another Raptor camp, then we can fully cement it.
Perfect.
Bosom buddies. Alright, Deep Vision going to send over to his mid laner right now. And we've got advantages in mid lane, top lane, and bottom lane, and jungle from Pakistan. They are winning across the board in terms of CS. So even though it's been, fully enough, I would say this is a passive game compared to the games that we've seen in Asian games so far. Even though we're about 8 minutes in, and it's very standard to have not had any kills, I'm just used to the bloodbath that has been Asian games so far.
Yeah, it's a lot more tactical, which I love to see.
Yeah.
Makes it so whenever I try and talk about a deep theory,
You can.
I don't have to be paranoid of what's going to happen every second of the game. So at this point in time, from now, I can say freely, I would love to talk about Graves, because by the time this VOD gets out, people would have already seen Graves that are taking mid lane wave after mid lane wave, and is much more sped up towards his Black Cleaver into Phantom Dancer, into all that good stuff. This is the OG Graves. The Graves that is just great at skirmishing and dueling, so you just pick him because he has a fantastic matchup into these melee junglers, and then by the end of the game, he'll be a carry. It's going to take much longer just because he's not being able to take up mid lane wave, but if you look towards the late game's team fighting, Orianna is going to be there to protect the Xayah and to be able to buff up her and the Graves. So amazing backline damage later on in the game, and early game focus coming in from the ranged jungler.
Do you see this? Deep Vision's coming in for the Raptors. Not even that. It's like, let's go.
Damn.
You see his Ace Lord there, and it's like, oh, hello.
I mistimed it.
What brings you here?
Or nothing.
They're going to meet each other again. This is the most clashes I've seen out of junglers. They
Watch
know
Braum
exactly
here,
what to be.
because this is going to be Ace Lord getting hit up.
Yeah, follow through with the Winter's Bite. Nice stun out from Dew right there. Nightmare with the follow through as well. Deep Vision backing up, but he's on the front lines. Oh, the turnaround is big. Celestial binding down. Or Cosmic Radiance, I should say.
turn.
Meanwhile, follow through with Jizatsu. Stun down onto the Graves. Turning it around. Here comes the turn. Raz Nightmare being followed through. Ignite followed. And again, the Pillar of Filth from Ace Lord is good. That should be the disengage. Nightmare being tagged up just by the first part of end of the line.
All right, but one thing to make note of is apparently Toxic and Ugly is toxic and dead. But the other thing to make note of is the fact that Jisatsu does still have flash. So this dive is worthwhile. Jisatsu can apparently try and tank the tower. It's going to be iffy. But in the end of the day, you can always come back into the lane. It makes the skirmish that much easier.
All right, well, the Master's not having a great time right here. We'll get the Rupture in the end, but Kazama is definitely handing it to him. That was a chat sound right there.
That's toxic and ugly and incredibly upset.
Okay, recall out from the Master. He's going to go back to base. He's going to get himself a Spectre's Cowl. And getting to the point where he can be unstoppable in the top lane and teleport back in. Kazama, he's got a little bit of time before he really needs to go anywhere. And Cho'Gath is definitely just a little bit confused, but we'll get the beast down, start growing up into a big old Cho'Gath. And in the mid lane, we've still got a 20 CS advantage, but Swain somehow managed to pick up the kill for that first blood. And I will probably say that's the most anticlimactic first blood that I've seen in quite some time. It's just Swain running someone down, auto-attacking and auto-attacking, and eventually getting it.
He's been doing so poorly in the laning phase because the matchup is in favor of Orianna that you gotta wonder that Orianna was likely just over-aggressive, probably dove tower. This is the situation that I'm providing because there's no way that Toxic and Ugly would be that low in the matchup. So that's my take on it. That being said, what I do like to see is Cho'Gath using TP going back towards the top lane, and I would have loved to see him like push in the lane a little bit more and take advantage of the matchup, because Yasuga would have been pressed to TP back into lane. He would have been pressed to base, TP back, and then it would have been Sri Lanka that had the TP advantage off of Ashe. But that's not the case here, and so they'll just end up losing this tower based off that.
Pakistan pushing down this bottom lane.
Run!
He's getting caught out near sight, and I respect it. You're going down, you might as well charge up the ultimate. I'm with you.
Zen-san is like, what are you even thinking, buddy? What are you doing?
Amazing. All right, here comes Ashe into the bot side. Duke Vision's found him. Duke comes up as well, plays stun the Bastion. And stun as a ward more than anything else. And Pakistan are actually keeping up the aggression. Mid lane, Ace Lord, remember, this is a Trundle 1 tower. Does a lot of damage. Kazama on the top side, still trading off with the Master, and he tells him to be quiet. Okay, I guess I'll go back to my tower, okay. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we've got the rest of the red team trying to take away this red buff. And Ace Lord just been in mid lane for like the last 40 seconds. It's like, it's the best time of my life. I don't know why the tower aggroed me when there's minions there, but okay. I guess I'll take most of this mid lane tower health away. And Deep Vision is now tracking him down, but the job is done. Yeah,
the job is done. I think ultimately Ace Lord didn't get anything out of it. It's just an investment, essentially. If they get a proper win in the next fight, then that's great because of the job that Ace Lord did. But ultimately, the immediate result is the fact that Nightmare died. That bottom lane got pushed in and taken down, so that's a lot of tower gold in favor of Pakistan. And that now Pakistan could just focus on mid lane. Right now, Orianna's mid, and they're sending their dual lane top side, but they can always then just say that we're going to be trying to push in Ashe after top lane pushes in. So as long as Pakistan just doubles down and keeping mid lane towers safe, then all of the pressure that Ace Lord had towards that tower means nothing.
All right, Deep Vision again into the top lane. Just going to walk into this one.
All right, smack him.
Hello, the Master.
That's not where
okay.
you're going to be.
All right. Silence comes through, but the follow-up as well. Jazatsu is looking for potential dive, but we're both squishies, and we have no Zen-san just yet, so let's back it on up. But Toxic and Ugly. Oh, he's looking for this one. Coming around from the backside, reaching around the turret. Can he make this happen? Follow through. Nice flash out from the Master, getting away from the shockwave.
All right, so he didn't catch him coming through because there's no ward to see Toxic and Ugly, but the job has been finished. That being said, it could turn into a race. They don't have much of a wave here. Okay.
Okay.
They shouldn't be able to dive him.
Azim is here, looking for the block. Master gets the knock-up. Just kidding, misses both of them. In the top lane, Ju, again, is always here supporting.
Oh, I think they're trying to look for a flank. It's going to be on Kazama to see if he can slow them down a little bit. Doesn't have his ulti up because he's already used it, though. Yeah,
that was for the initial slowdown to try and keep them in place for the rest of his team to come in with that flank. So understood what they were going for right there. Unfortunately, didn't work out in practice.
Yeah, even though that's all not working out, ultimately, Pakistan still have a major lead. A lot of the neutral objectives are still topside. They get a top lane tower. They blew the Master's Flash, and they're in great position for a Rift Herald. So Sri Lanka still has to be topside to protect the Rift Herald from being taken. So Deep Vision recognizes that. I think he's just going to start up on it. What the heck? He's just trying to, okay, parkour, I respect it.
All right.
Nice.
I mean, he's no talent, but he's going to give it a try. All right. Take up the rest of this minion wave. Yeah, indeed, Grace has started it off. And should be able to take down Shelly very shortly. Got the rest of the Pakistani squad coming in here as well. And Ashe will throw up the Visions of Empire and realize And here's a vision of the Herald dying. So there we go. Toxic and Ugly running away from this mid lane. The Master is going to just spawn him here. Kazuma running away as per usual.
Yeah, and he has information that both Ace Lord and Nightmare are bottom lane. So if you are Pakistan, you want to be centered around mid. Top lane towers down, bottom lane towers down, you have a Rift Trail. There's only one thing you can do, and Sri Lanka hasn't been there to defend literally any play. So even though it feels like there's nothing for Sri Lanka to do bottom side and they should only be in mid lane to protect the Rift Trails from being taken, even I don't know what they're going to be doing at this point.
All right, Ace Lord, he's still farming up. How are we doing in terms of gold? Okay, well, we had 1,000 gold going over to Deep Vision right here in the jungle just by himself.
1,700 for Nightmare. So Nightmare, he's probably going to be heading back to finish up a Phage and components. Actually, only got a long sword to his name. Oh, I finished up the beat, so not too much that he was able to complete.
Ooh, second Mouse Dragon here for Pakistan. Be quite happy with this one. Here comes the banana. Ooh. That was close. That was very close. So Deep Vision came in for an early smite right there. That was bad news bears. So good job securing that one in the end. Oh, Shockwave has managed to catch up this Swain. He goes into Ascension, but yeah, there's nothing ascending about this one. I'll see. Sensan, I don't know how he picked up that one, but good job. I think it was an Ignite. Here comes Sri Lanka looking for the follow through. Toxic Ugly jumping over the wall, but he is already dead. Cosmic Radiance will come down, but I can say for certain Pakistan are not looking for the fight right here. They want to disengage. Jensen brings up the door, and Deep Vision moving it back to the tower. Kazuma, nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, you know what? It turns into a trade at the end of the day. It was a great pickup towards Ashe, but as you can see, a proper response comes through. It may have costed Tariq his ultimate, but it was ultimately worthwhile. So we're going to have to see what ends up happening here for Sri Lanka. They might be positioning for a dive.
It's only for it. Oh, I like it. The teleport onto the minion will keep the aggro for now. Looking for the collapse. Here it goes. Pillar of Fill comes up. Nice door coming through from Zen-san. He's actually keeping him alive for just a couple more seconds. Jizatsu's already dead. He flashes away. Back to the rest of his team. He survives, but here comes the Master off to the side. He's going to gobble him up. Here comes Kazama. Where's the Orhorn? Knocks up one onto Ace Lord, but that'll be good enough. Here comes Orianna following through. Has the Shockwave in just 1 second from now. It's off cooldown. Sri Lanka, can they continue the play? Looks like no, but the double knockup is good. Ashe follows through. He gets, again, the nether move into the Visions of Empire. Can Pakistan hold?
Not enough damage coming on the side of Pakistan to hold this tower, so I'm worried about Toxic and Ugly.
Oh, okay. Shockwave onto 4. What was that, Raz? I didn't hear you over the sound of that massive Shockwave. Oh, Toxic and Ugly's dead anyways. Kazuma is going to back it up.
You know what? That would have been sick if Graves was there. But to be fair, I don't think Sri Lanka actually would have went for the dive if Graves was there as well. So ultimately, they knew how many people were there to defend, and Toxic and Ugly was trying to outplay.
I'll be honest, I think that Deep Vision is absolutely making the right play right here. He almost picked up 2 towers by himself. Yeah, now he's thinking, I could stay, hang on, this is a choke out with no mana. No, not like this, Deep Vision. He's going to fully commit to this tower. It's dead. He's probably going to die here as well, but I like it. Nightmare goes down, and Pakistan take a lot of this play. Collateral damage gets him away, but here comes Ace Lord to seal the deal.
Got the smite.
He's just waiting on yet another pillar. Hits him with the ultimate. Have some subjugation, why don't you? Ooh, flash away. They both backed away. They thought he was dead. Deep Vision still going. Contaminate. He's running for his life. Get out of here, Deep Vision. I believe in you. But Ace thought he's about to have his pillar back. He's chasing him down, chomps down on the Graves and gets him a kill.
But you know what? He wasted time. God bless his soul. He took the mid lane tower. 2 mid lane towers. Captain Deep Vision, your team is proud of you.
Deep Vision is now my new favorite player. This guy is an absolute boss. And in the top lane, buying so much time for Pakistan to push into this tower. That never moved, unfortunately, because here comes the Master as well, looking for this rupture. Sidestep from Zen-san is good. The rest of the team still abandoned him. The rest of Sri Lanka following through as well. Can they get this brawn?
Oh, no.
Oh, coming through with the snipe. Stops the recall from Kazuma. And Zen-san, he's still on the run. Does he have enough for another stand behind me? Pops the ultimate. Fantastic call of the Forge God. And everyone gets out alive, Raz.
Protecting Private Zen-san. To be quite honest, to be quite fair, I think he did a lot of that on his own. So it was a Zen-san trudging along saying, hey, you're leaving me behind. And then I guess they heard him at the end.
Yeah, it's like, all right, here's an ultimate, if I must. We've got Trundle moving into the bottom lane, but he's very confused about this ball. He sees the ball in front of him in the hallway, and it's like, Do I go past it? Now he goes on Toxic Ugly now that the Master's here. But the silence comes through. Flash forwards, gets to slow down. This is going to be another one on top of this. Toxic Ugly gets to speed up and the slow down. Simultaneous from the dissonance. Knock up is good onto Toxic. He's got the ultimate. Feast down onto the Orianna. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we've got Ju getting locked up. No Cosmic Radiance for you. Kazuma, nice knock up once again. Ash, Nightmare, driving it back. But here comes the Master out from the bottom lane. Play after play, but they push forwards. They're good. The door comes up, but now they're thinking second of it because the Cho'Gath is huge. He doesn't have the ultimate, does get the knock up onto Kazuma. He goes down. No revive from Akka on this one. Deep Vision backing away. Zensan, what can he do? Slowdown's good onto Nightmare. Get back here, says Ash. That'll be another kill.
A complete cleanup across the map. The Master literally goes all the way from bottom lane to top lane to help his team out. And you think he's going to stop here? He probably should have. He probably should have. I'm gonna be honest. He probably should have stopped there.
Deep Vision, Jazatsu, they're pushing forwards. They got the Cho'Gath. They want more. Oh, maybe not like this. Nightmare lands a clutch Mystic shot. But that'll be the tower dead. 3 towers to 4. We started off the game tactical. We've ended it chaotic, and I love it.
It comes down to the fact that I don't know who did it, but they put blindfolds on themselves. They said, you're not listening to anybody. They said, no more comms for you guys. The only thing that matters is your hands and the keyboard. So people are just pressing buttons and going into team fights. That's ultimately what's happening. So, hey, Sri Lanka came back into this game. That's what it comes down to.
They did.
Is the fact that so many skirmishes have been happening around the Master. The Master is tanky enough, has enough execution damage with his ultimate to basically put his team on his back. 3-1-3.
Well, if I've learned anything from Doctor Who, it's that the Master always comes back. So he's done a very good job. 3-1-3 out of the 9 total kills as well. So this Cho'Gath is almost unstoppable. Meanwhile, in the jungle, I think Acelord's also done a pretty stand-up job. He's generally been meeting Deep Vision every step of the way, even though Deep Vision has been absolutely insane, contesting absolutely everything. This is a 3rd Mountain Dragon in a row, by the way. Pakistan, the blocking of that has come through. Where is the orb? There it is. The ball was down. That one's going to be secured. Bout from Zaya. Call the Forge God, knocks up 2. First one's down. Ju is dead. Pakistan routing them back, but that's going to be a kill onto Ash. Nightmare flashing away, but he's dead as well. But here comes the Master. 1 versus 5. This time you'll go down. Where's the regeneration, man? And Ice Lord, he's going to run away. 4 kills to 0 for Pakistan.
Target selection was so sick in that fight. Felt like the team as a whole recognized the moment when Ash was the target. They went straight for him. Nightmare was very low in the background, and it was just very easy from Pakistan to traverse the fight as a team. So yeah, the Master was big that fight, but he really couldn't do much in that situation.
Yeah, big only in size, unfortunately, and Pakistan will turn their attention to the Baron. They'll be taking this one down. Baron Nashor has been slain by the red team. They'll go back to base. Very happy with how that one turned out. 40,000 gold to 34,000 gold, not just before that fight and turn of events, only 2,000 gold in it. So Pakistan in a very dominating position now.
And you can start to see why this composition for Pakistan is getting difficult for Sri Lanka to reverse, because the disengage from Braum, the disengage from the Zaya pick, and then the damage starting to come through from Orianna, and of course the slow that comes with it as well, makes it so much easier for the carries to move around that. So all of that was working so well for Pakistan. So if you're Sri Lanka and your real only way to enter a fight is through just walking up as Cho'Gath and Trundle, then you're going to have a tough time if you're not immediately on top of them.
Pakistan doing the right thing. They're pushing into the jungle right here. That was a Knight's Vow on top of the grave. Let's see who the real carry is. Ash is walking it down into the bottom lane. The waves are actually quite far pushed back, so I'd like to see Pakistan actually set up these waves right now, Raz.
I'd like to see a lot of things. They've completely just moved away from mid lane wave. So mid lane wave doesn't exist, and their top lane wave is bad. So Pakistan is actually getting pushed in top, while mid lane is now getting pushed in by the Ezreal. So there's only one wave that they're focusing on, and it better work for them.
But is this just a mastermind game coming in from Pakistan? Because you expect us to push in the waves, but in reality, we're in your jungle waiting for you.
Oh, it's possible. It definitely made Nightmare scramble for bottom lane, but he's already here, so. Yeah, I don't think you guys can dive this tower, and I don't think you guys can siege this tower with the range that you have. So you're in a pretty bad position. They've recognized that and put Kazama mid.
I mean, Kazuma just needs to go to the top lane. Kazuma needs to get that wave rolling. He's got TP. He's the one who can actually rotate.
They're going to try and end in about...
Okay, that's a shockwave. Pakistan, what are they doing? Because now they're being pushed back, and Zensan is the one under attack. He'll flash away after the fissure. Silence, but Jujatsu is still pushing forwards. Here comes Kazuma in from the mid lane.
Kazuma's completely pissed off. Why did you guys start the party without me? You could have just waited for the next wave, and I would have been there with pushing mid, but you just decided to press ulti when I was still pushing top.
Toxic Ugly, what are you doing?
I don't know, man.
Okay. Ooh, Visions of Empire. Ash, he's going to have to go back to base on this one. He did not want to catch all of those skill shots, did not want to catch them all. In the bottom lane, the inhibs should be falling, because as has Ace Lord, the long-lost brother of Star-Lord, and Pakistan will run it back.
There we go. Ultimately, they're just too damn strong right now. Triple.
Ooh. Woo. Okay, Toxic Ugly, you're going to need some help right here. Vision of Empire, sidestepping this one as well. He didn't sign up for playing a round of DDX, but here we are. Pakistan are running away. Ooh, knock up, not quite going to be there from the Master. Zensan, he's the one on the backside, but he only has one door in him left. Okay, the chase has stopped. And Jujatsu, he went back to base.
Yeah, he can actually start picking up the farm now. So he's going to take some time before he goes top lane to be able to take red buff. So ultimately, Pakistan's happy. Pakistan's happy. They got themselves a bottom lane tower, and they're going to be able to get the top lane push rolling. They won't have Baron because it's about to expire. So that's gone and done and over with. If you're Sri Lanka, you just need to find a way to force a fight. It's a good attempt bottom lane, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, not in the end. And then I'm looking towards Sri Lanka, and I'm like, what can you do from this situation? Well, what have you got in the tank? We've got an Ezreal who's 3-3-3. Double items right now, so at a pretty decent power spike for himself. Jungle's also doing quite nicely. Ace Lord is relatively tanky. He's actually gone all into the tank build. Top lane as well, the Master is a big tank. But then in the mid lane, Ash, do you have what it takes in terms of damage? Because really, I'm just fearing the amount of damage that Sri Lanka have to deal in these fights.
Yeah, not too much. If you're Kazama, you should be pretty confident walking up forward, especially with the damage that you have behind yourself. So Jisatsu, Toxic, and Deep Vision are actually doing very well for them. The Phantom Dancer being finished up by Deep Vision, and specifically the Double Magic penetration coming in from Toxic and Ugly. So those two should be good enough.
But a good flank could be big right here from the Master. Here comes a teleport as well. Pakistan backing it up, and the follow-up is not quite there just yet. Vision of Empire is enough to slow them down, but here comes the Ornhorn, knocked up. A four-man knockup is gigantic. Kazuma, you absolute madman. And it completely destroys the entire lineup of Sri Lanka. 4 kills just like that.
Bowling pins is what that was. Kazama was at a phenomenal angle, gets a 4-man knockup, and that was all due to the fact that Zansan paid enough time, perfect Braum ulti, the disengage was there, and the re-engage is what put the dagger through them.
That was all on Kazuma. He can't steal their life points and put them 6 feet under. Nightmare. I mean, this is a zone right now because he's trapped in the entire team by his lonesome. I respect the Jew, but it's not going to be enough right there.